Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Digimon Ghost Game, episodes 46 and 47. So let's get right into it. Episode 46 is called Queen's Banquet, and this is a Nomura-centric episode, kind of, where we really like to just pick on him and have him constantly, transformed or, attacked or things like that. And so that's what this episode is about. But it follows one of my favorite formulas from this show, where we just have a Digimon, stalking a human, but it kind of fumbles it at the end for me. So, everything where, this Digimon, which is a new Digimon for this episode, Oleamon, everything with her following Nomura and, preparing him to eat, basically, all that's good. Like, her putting the little seed on the back of his neck and sort of checking in to see how it's growing, making him see things in water so he doesn't bathe, so he gets the flavor that she wants. Her having him, basically strip and shave and things like that so he's easier to eat. All of that was good. And everything leading up to the confrontation was good. There's even some really creepy imagery at points with, vines, wrapping him and, going inside of his ears and nose and stuff that was really creepy. But we get to the actual confrontation where she's strong. She captures the whole cast right away. They barely even put up a fight, though I guess they didn't technically evolve to ultimates. But still, she defeated them, captured them, implanted the seeds on all the humans' necks. And the way they escape is Angoramon convinces her that she's not preparing Nomura correctly to get the best flavor out of him. And so he says, you have to steam humans to cook them the best. And so she's like, alright, show me. So she frees Angoramon, and then he just says, I can't touch water because I have this, you make me see weird visions in the water. Can you free me? And so she frees everyone, and then they just defeat her. The actual way they defeat her was built up too well. There was an incident. There was a moment where they were investigating the bath where Nomura freaked out and saw plants and stuff, and Ruri is off in the girls section, and she finds a can of, I assume, deodorant. I forget what it exactly was, or hairspray or something, some sort of spray can, right? And then the vine is coming to get her, and she sprays it, and it sort of backs off. And so the way they defeat it is they just spray her with a bunch of cans, and then ignite the gas from the cans. So they break all the cans, throw them her way, and then ignite it, and then she explodes. She survives, though. And then she just says, okay, I won't eat humans anymore. The resolution is weak. All the stuff with, Nomura leading up to everybody being captured, pretty good. Her interaction with Hokuto over in the digital world being why she came to the human world and tried to eat a human is funny, and how he's constantly inadvertently making problems for the main cast is fun. And I do like how she ends up. I find that amusing, where she's basically a YouTuber after this, Oleamon is, where she just eats nasty food that people have a hard time, getting around the smells and stuff of. That's funny, and, people in the comments thinking that she's, a VTuber or something is amusing. But the whole resolution really didn't land for me. Alright, episode 47, Memory of Eternity. I think this is the better of the two episodes. Right away, I knew who the enemy Digimon was, because I recognized his hand, even though he's not revealed until later on, but it's Datamon. So this episode opens up with a Shadramon, which I always pronounce Shadramon, but hearing them pronounce it Shadramon kind of makes sense. So there's a Shadramon dying, and he's basically saying, no, I don't want to die, I don't want to forget everything. I don't want to be reverted to an egg and lose all my memories. And so Datamon, what did they call it later on? A memory seed. He plucks a memory seed out of Shaedramon and then sticks that into a human. Something that I just thought of right now. We don't know why Shaedramon was dying. What happened? We don't know if Datamon attacked him, if he got into a fight somewhere else. We don't know. That's not really touched on. But anyway, so Datamon put this memory seed into a human, and like the hologram type, like in the show, the Digimon have like the hologram type, and then they're fully formed like form. So like the hologram, like translucent form starts poking out of this guy, and he starts freaking out. But he is somebody that works with Kyoshiro, and Kyoshiro spots it right away in this episode. And so the bulk of this episode is just the cast hanging out with him, watching over him, trying to figure out what to do. We get Mummymon coming back to help cure him. But we get, like, it's like the weird body horror stuff, where by the end of this episode, we have, like, a Digimon-human hybrid, where we've got the human head where it should be, and then, like, out of its left shoulder, we have the Shaedramon head, and, like, arms and wings and stuff poking out of this guy, and he's just, like, a weird abomination. I think that's good. And so basically the premise of this episode was, Datamon, from his speech at the end, is just trying to live forever, and so he's experimenting on Digimon, taking the memory seeds, putting them in humans, and seeing if they survive, and in this case, they failed. Like, they solidified together, and it just didn't work out. And so, he's also, like, controlling them. Datamon in this is, like, super, super tiny, small enough to fit into the human's ear. And so, we get, like, a little fight where he's controlling this hybrid monster to attack them with Shaedramon's, like, fire attacks. The way they get Datamon is Mummymon shows up, because he wants to help this guy, and he informs everybody that, alright, the best way, like, to get Magnamon, get Datamon is, he's magnetic, so if you have a magnet, you can get him. And so, they don't have a magnet, but the way they solve this is, Jellymon uses her electric attacks to make Espimon a electromagnet, and then they get Datamon, and then they put him in, like, a little petri dish. I think that's fun. I don't know why Datamon is so small. It's weird. And throughout this whole episode, we have, like, the main cast, like, basically bullying, not really bullying, but, like, pushing work onto Espimon. So, at the start of the episode, Angoramon is not with the group. He's at, like, a Digimon meeting. So they send Espimon off to go find him. And then later in the episode, Jellymon isn't there, so they send Espimon off to go find him. And then here at the end, they use him as the metal that you need to make this electromagnet work. And so they're just like, Espimon's really got the short end of the stick this episode. But it was funny. What else do I have here for notes? Okay, the way they separate the human and the Digimon. Thetismon grabs the Digimon's hand, which is poking out of the human, and uses, like, a teleportation attack to then separate them. The human ends up completely unscathed. The Digimon, however, dies again. Shaedramon is dead. And so that's sort of how our episode ends. Datamon is taken back to the digital world by Black Gatomon. And we see a moment in this episode, a couple of moments, where I don't know if we saw whose Digivice it was, but we see the screen light up when Datamon is talking, and then we see it turn off, and then later at the end, Black Gatomon shows up. So that's how Black Gatomon's, like, listening in. He's listening through the Digivices for some reason. But yeah, okay episodes. Episode 46 was a good start, fell off by the end. Episode 47, pretty good all the way through. Yeah, good episodes, not the best, but a decent watch. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.